Hello everyone, today on the 1 Year Life Challenge we want to talk about how to manifest a winning attitude that will create the life you deserve. Hello everyone, today as mentioned in the intro we're going to talk about how to create an attitude or an understanding of attitude that will propel you unconsciously forward, will also help you with people in your life, and will give you a framework for understanding why some people react one way to things and some people react another way. Now, this system was something I developed in order to help myself manage hundreds and hundreds of staff. In the past, I probably had employed and worked with and trained over 1,000 staff. And I found it very, very difficult dealing with people from different educational levels, different backgrounds, different ages, different genders. And I learned very quickly that the number one determining factor on someone's success was going to be their attitude. But how did I create a framework for attitude when so many people decided that they would just be a certain way, or so many people seem to have a bad attitude? I heard it said before that your altitude, for example, how high you fly in life, your altitude is determined by your attitude. And I've seen this in thousands of people I've coached, trained, employed. And this system here is something that once you apply to your life, you can then use the leadership skill to bring other people to an attitude level that really creates value for those around you. So the concept is based on a line. And that line is symbolic of life, In life, there's the life and death, there's duality, black and white. And this line really symbolizes that duality of black and white, life and death. And the line is, in a lot of these patterns and geometries are used to help people understand this attitude model. So there's a line, and the top line is called above the line, which is solution focused. Now, above the line is the attitude that you want to spend your day living in, and it's an attitude that's defined by you take ownership. It's an attitude that's defined by accountability, and it's an attitude defined by taking responsibility. So that's where you live when you live above the line. You're ownership, you're accountable, and you have responsibility. Now that's the area where success comes. They are the employees who naturally somehow are above the line through their life experiences or the way they saw the world. Hugely successful, better partners, better relationships, better jobs, everything seemed better for them. And it was simple, it didn't matter what their education was, it didn't matter even sometimes, the sort of backgrounds that they came from. Their attitude seemed to be that number one determining factor, and above the line attitude is the one thing that I'd recommend to everyone to take on board. Now, what's below the line? Well, below the line is the duality, the opposite, and this is an attitude unfortunately I see too often, and quite often my coaching clients, I'll need to bring them out of this area before we can even begin to really make results. And if you're here right now, it's really important that you understand below the line. Below the line is blaming others, is making excuses, and being in denial. I'll say that again, you blame others, you make excuses, and you are in denial. Now, that area, that below the line area, I see people who come through with money, have great educations, just living awful, horrible lives. And the reason they're living these awful and horrible lives is simply because they see the world from below the line attitude. They see the things that happen in their life is that something's happening other than them, which means they can't control it, they can't fix it, so they might as well complain. They have excuses, which means they're once again powerless, and they're in denial, and which keeps you stuck in the mud. You can't really get yourself out of somewhere when you're in denial. And the key to this line is the words within the line, which is choose, make a choice. Now, quite often people will say, Brad, if it's that simple, why would anyone choose to be below the line? Well, the reason people choose to be below the line is the third factor of being below the line, is being in denial. Now, once you're in denial, it's difficult for you to accept where you are, therefore you cannot choose to leave your below the line attitude, because ultimately you're in denial and you don't know that. And that's why it takes amazing peers, mentors. That's why you need mentors in your life. That's why you need coaching. Sometimes you need someone to point out that you're being below the line. And once they point that out, they can help you make the change. Because the very natural essence of being below the line is denial. Now, That is really, really key, is having people in your life who are real friends, not the yes men, the people who can tell you when you're being down and out. Now, the key understanding, once you know when you're being below the line or above the line, and remember, when you start saying things like, oh, if they hadn't have done that, this wouldn't have happened, and if someone would have just given me this, then I never would have been in that situation, you need to really start saying, well, that's below the line. Now, whether it's true or not, and this is key, it doesn't matter. The truth is always relative, and the only truth in life is how are you using this magical vehicle called life to enhance yourself, to grow others. That's all that matters. So whether or not it is, in your opinion, someone else's fault, doesn't matter. Using that language will keep you below the line. So whether it's right or not is irrelevant. What's right is that you become above the line and live your true self and experience the magnitudes and multitudes that life has to offer. Now, what's key about this system is once you recognize it in yourself, you can help others. But here's the key. You can never attack someone's belief system. You can never say to someone that they're wrong, because the minute you do that, you create a hostile environment and people will defend themselves. In that picture, for example, there's a picture of some Ku Klux Klan individuals who I believe are below the line. I believe they're fundamentally wrong about their beliefs on racism, but let's remove that from a second. Let's say that they're right. Let's say that whatever crazy pseudoscience, eugenic stuff they're pushing is right. Let's say it's right. Is it serving them? They're wearing hoods. They're obviously worried about their lives. They're worried about the things they're doing. So it doesn't serve them. So that'd be an example. And another example would be if I went up to a Ku Klux Klan member and I said, "Listen, genetic studies show that we all evolved from Africa. We had 3 migration patterns out of Africa. I can actually trace my ancestry back to the Tanzanian area of Africa. We all have that. We're all the same. Our skin pigment changed during the Ice Age as we moved through Western Europe. There's no difference." And they would say, "That's not true. Africans are no good." Now, that's what I would expect, because you're attacking a belief system. But if you introduce the concept of above the line and below the line, and start helping people that their attitude is perhaps below the line, not wrong or right, but below the line, therefore unhelpful and not going to drive them forward, they can make a real change. Because you haven't attacked their belief. You've simply given their belief a structure below or above the line. And that's where you can create real value in other people's lives. Of course, you have to look at it yourself first and decide whether you're above the line or below the line, but those sort of things are really, really important for you getting to the bottom of where you stand as a person. And above the line life is awesome. You meet the coolest people. You attract and resonate and vibrate on a frequency that brings amazing things into your life that you can never imagine, and you'll appreciate them because you're above the line. When you're below the line, unfortunately, you do attract things that are easy to make excuses about and to blame others and to become in denial. But when you change your vibrational frequency or your attitude, the world becomes your oyster. However, you need a framework to see it. And this framework is incredibly important. So apply it to yourself. This sheet will be available for download at the end of the video. You can also download the book, which will give you some more information about this. Or you could download the video series, or you could get the DVD series and watch this video again. Understanding your attitude, which will control your altitude, is incredibly important on your one-year life journey. So I hope you appreciate and understand where you sit right now, whether it's above the line and below the line. Below the line, I hope to bring you above, and if you're above the line, join the team. It's a lot of fun. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for tomorrow's video as we go along on this one-year life journey. Thank you and goodbye. Hello everyone. Jump on YouTube and become a subscriber for special features that are unlocked once you click the subscribe button. Audiobooks, novels, a whole collection of information that isn't available on Facebook or Twitter is available for you as a subscriber on YouTube. So jump on now.